Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Fourth and a Mile podcast. That's Nicholas Elliott. I'm JD Zaza, and welcome back. College football day for us. Nicholas, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Another week of college football closer to bowl season.
And for our viewers, one quick thing before we get started today. The reason we didn't get this out Thursday is because we both had assignments for our actual work.
Yeah.
Last night was busy for both of us, so that's why we're doing this Friday. So for this week, we're both kind of in a time crunch, so we're going to do previews. We're going to do previews and recaps. We'll talk about playoff in a general state, but we'll get into the playoff next week because I think next week we're going to see a lot of movement compared to this week. Where do you want to get started? Do you want to talk about playoffs? Do you want to talk about some of the games? Where would you like to discuss? You can lead us for this first part.
I mean, nothing really changed. I mean, I think the biggest thing with the playoff is if the ACC is actually going to get anybody in. I mean,
I think at this rate, the best chance they've got is probably Miami at an at-large bid or Georgia Tech.
yeah. I forget that Miami's still there.
But there's a real world where an 8-4 Duke that lost to UConn last week could go on and win the ACC because they have one conference loss. Again, the ACC is a complete and utter
mess.
I mean, I'm pulling again, and we all thought at the start of the year that this would be one of the easier conference to predict, but nope. I mean, currently the ACC has 5 teams with one loss in conference: Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pittsburgh, SMU, and Duke. And that's not taking into account Louisville and Miami.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ACC is a complete mess. Other big changes in the playoff were Texas Tech's rising after their big win over BYU. I mean, that was
dominated. I mean, everybody expected that.
Yeah, Texas Tech had the defensive line, and when they got out in front, BYU couldn't really come back on Texas Tech. Good for Texas Tech. They haven't had a great season in a long time. What were some of the other changes that happened? I think that was it. It's just the ACC. I think the big takeaway was the ACC.
ACC had a bad weekend.
No real change.
It was a controversial play in like the Northwestern USC game because they used like a quarterback or something as a punter.
Yeah,
with the same numbers.
This last week was besides the ACC falling apart, it was the almost week for a lot of teams.
Oregon showed me stuff.
We almost had pure chaos, but the top 10 didn't really change that much. I mean, Texas moved up.
Oregon showed me something this week. Like I didn't expect them to win that game against Iowa. And
yeah, I think we both
looked good in the clutch.
I think we both picked Iowa. Oregon won an Iowa game.
Yeah.
That was an Iowa game. They played Big Ten football, classic Big Ten football, and won. And they've done it twice. They did it on the road in Penn State. Say what you will about Penn State, but at that time, that was a top 3 win for Oregon.
Yep.
And they played Big Ten football to win it. But not only Oregon was one of the teams that had a tough battle in the Big Ten. Indiana, another close game for Indiana. They've had 2 close games, going to Kinnick and then going to Happy Valley.
Yep.
I mean, I watched the third and fourth quarter of this game because I was focused on our basketball team because of my job. But Fernando Mendoza played a really bad game, but no one's going to remember that because he had the drive of the year, capped off by Omar Cooper making
I think it was a lot of
no
it was.
doubt the catch of the year.
I think it was a lot of it was his receivers are making great catches, like that. Charlie
Yeah.
Becker made a great catch to set him up in the goal line, and then that great catch by Cooper in the end zone, which was like
But
a gravity catch.
I'm giving Mendoza a ton of credit for that final drive. But before we get into the final drive, I want to discuss Penn State. I'm impressed with Penn State. They fought.
They have a lot of NFL players on that. It's not like they have nobody. They have
It's kind of like
NFL talent.
They're kind of like South Carolina this year, where it's like they're just a stingy team with a lot of NFL players on that team. Underachieved, but they have a lot of NFL players on that roster. But again, I truly believe this. I think the Omar Cooper catch at the end was the best catch since 4th and 31 I've seen in college football. That was an insane catch.
Yeah.
How he got, and not only did he get 1 foot in bounds, he got 2. He got 2 feet in bounds for that. That would have been good in the NFL. The entire time, I was just in shock. I was in shock going, he caught that. And I think that was everyone's reaction to watching that catch.
Yeah, it was crazy to see. Crazy sight to see.
There were two great Big Ten throws and quarterbacks. I mean, Dante Moore, that throw to the sideline to Malik Benson, that's an NFL throw for Oregon.
Yeah, he put that right perfectly. That was a great throw.
Iowa played perfect defense there. Good offense beats good defense. But again, the Big Ten, they're two of the big three survived major upsets.
Yep. Other than that, I mean, really wasn't much. Auburn almost beat Vanderbilt, but I mean,
that was a great game.
It was back and forth. No defense was played.
Cam Coleman is the second best receiver in the country, and it's not close. It's him and Jeremiah Smith, and then probably Carnell Tate. I mean, Jordan Tyson's up there as well. Jordan Tyson's up there. Alabama's got a few.
Pavia just proves time and time again he owns Auburn. But
Cam Coleman is a special player.
Yep.
Other big things.
A&M handles business. Alabama handles business, I guess. I mean, they didn't play great on offense, but played great on defense. Wisconsin beat Washington. That was surprising.
They did.
Luke Fickell.
And the punter had the most passing yards. The punter had the most passing yards. And
I see that.
Washington fans wanted to be ranked so bad. And then the week of Luke Fickell being returning, they announced that, he's going to be the coach next week. He wins the game.
Another story here that could be interesting is, I guess Mark Stoops is saving his job as well.
Yeah, I mean ever since they made the quarterback change, they've looked really good.
Yeah,
they almost beat Texas. They beat Florida. They pummeled Florida.
I mean, if they can somehow pull out a win against either Vanderbilt or Louisville, they'll make a bowl game. But both of those are on the road and rivalry games.
That's tough.
Yeah, tough ask, but
tough.
Win one of those two, you probably keep your job.
Yeah.
If you go 5-7, they might fire you, they might not. Who knows?
What else happened this week? I feel like I'm missing.
That's about it. Cal beat Louisville in overtime.
Cal beat Louisville, yeah, that's right. Let's see.
And what was supposed to be a hyped up game throughout the regular season, the Florida State Clemson game was
I mean, Clemson rushed the field on a 4-5 Florida State team. Good for them.
North Carolina is 2 games away from bowl.
I can't believe Clemson, my number 1 seed in the in the preseason, fighting to be bowl eligible. What a world we live in.
A&M continues to dominate.
Yeah, Missouri, their backup quarterback went out of this game. UConn beat Duke, and Duke can still win the ACC. What a world we live in.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams.
The Ohio State beatings will continue until they play.
Tulane beat Memphis.
That was another big take. The group of five is a complete mess as well. Yeah, I mean South Florida's the highest ranked group of five team.
It's either gonna be It's gonna be out of the American, South Florida or Tulane probably.
Yeah, I mean, do they play each other Can they play each other?
They could play each other in the American title.
That'll probably determine your
standings in the American. Let me see.
Notre Dame. While you do that, Notre Dame took care of Navy.
Navy is still in first. So they're 5-1 in the American. And then you have South Florida, Tulane, North Texas, and East Carolina are all 4-1.
Yeah. Whoever wins the American's probably gonna get in at this rate. Georgia,
South Florida and Navy play tomorrow.
That's a big game. Georgia and Mississippi State. Georgia took care of business. I mean, they have the line. Mississippi State's a well-coached team, but Georgia has the line of scrimmage, guys.
This is the first time Georgia really put it on someone.
Yeah, Georgia played a complete game. They actually, after they giving up an opening drive touchdown to State, they just put belt.
Yep.
Which is what good teams should do.
All right. You want to get into this week?
Yeah, I mean, this week, expect some movement in the playoff. We're going to have some big games in the playoff. Yeah. Games that, I mean, this week's headlined by 2 SEC games as usual, because the SEC is kind of, there's a lot of teams that are kind of in the same tier. In the Big Ten, it's like Ohio State, probably, then second tier is Indiana and Oregon. I mean, Ohio State so far has looked like the one team where no weakness. Indiana's had 2 close games. Oregon's struggled this year. But again, that's the Big Ten this year. The ACC is a tire fire. And then the Big 12, it's at this rate, probably whoever plays Texas Tech in Arlington. Unless Texas Tech collapses, but we'll see.
I want to see about the Big 12. It's pretty much BYU, and it could probably be a rematch between. I mean, BYU and Cincinnati. They play next week, I believe. That will probably decide who's going to Jerry's World.
Jerry World with Texas Tech.
They're both 5-1 right now. So let's see. Cincinnati has a big game. Utah is 5-2. I think BYU would have to lose twice because the tiebreaker is in favor of.
And BYU won the board this year.
The thing with Cincinnati, they do have 3 tough games left against pretty good offenses with Arizona, BYU, and then TCU.
I think Cincinnati is one of the toughest schedules to end the year in the country.
BYU plays TCU at Cincinnati and UCF. So BYU, if I had to guess, probably BYU could lose this game to Cincinnati and still get in. But if you're Cincinnati, you got to win this game against Arizona. And then you could set yourself up where if you can win against BYU, and then you can drop the last game and still make it.
Who do you think would give Texas Tech a run for their money in Jerry World? BYU again?
Probably Utah. Probably Utah, but they won't. They're not going to make it.
Yeah, so. I think Utah is the only team line of scrimmage wise that can compete with Tech.
Yeah, I hate Utah to lose. Who was their other loss to?
They lost to Arizona. Didn't they lose their?
Oh yeah, it was just BYU and Texas Tech was the only 2 teams they lost to.
Yeah,
they dominated pretty much every other team they played. Sucks that they had a chance against Texas Tech, but they just couldn't. They lost by 20. The scoreboard really doesn't show the outcome of that game. They really had a lot of chances. They just couldn't convert on the 4th and 1s and stuff. But I would have liked to see that matchup again. But well, BYU could probably give them a decent run, because I think they had a lot of chances in the red zone. They just couldn't capitalize. So it's but who knows? Big 12 always has chaos whenever it gets to Jerry's World. So
Very true. So this week is going to be there's a lot of really good games outside of the thing. First tonight we've got a massive game. My ACC championship prediction.
Yeah. I think if Clemson
Clemson
cares about this game,
Clemson going into Louisville. Louisville is
shaky.
they still kind of got a chance, but like it's going to be tough for them. But Clemson's on
Clemson
easy
cares
team.
about this game, like their line of scrimmage. If their defensive line cares about this game, they can win it. Like I would probably take
Yeah.
Clemson and go on the road and win it.
Clemson's got NFL talent on that team, kind of like Penn State, where it's like that's not an easy game for Louisville. I mean, Louisville's only a 2.5-point favorite at home.
If they care, if it just depends if Clemson wants to care in this game. Like if they play like last week against FSU, where their defense was good, against Castellanos, or do they want to play how they did against Duke and just let Duke manipulate whatever they want? Because Clemson's offense will still show up regardless. Because Klubnik is back and he's been really good. Like a really good season for him, despite like the wins and losses aren't showing.
I agree.
And Louisville's offense. I mean, last week when Cal beat them, the Cal passing game was really explosive.
When Louisville's starting running backs out for the year, and that's not good. Went out that game, and that's brutal.
And Clemson's passing game is like one of the best in the country, so they'll give Louisville problems all game. So I think Clemson might upset here.
I don't think this is a massive upset. Actually,
it's not really upset, but I think they'll go in and win. It's just not really massive, but just where the teams are right now, 7-2, 4-5 would be kind of an upset. But let's hit on.
So I think we go through this week through the time slots. I think we can talk about the time slots in every single game because the 11 a.m.'s got 1, 2, 3 big games. 3 big games for playoffs.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about South Carolina, Texas A&M because, I mean, Texas A&M's at home. If this was in Columbia,
like it was last year.
Possibly, but not this year. So the 3 games I was talking about are 1 Group of 5 game, 1 Big 12 game, and one game versus 1 out of conference game. The first game I want to discuss is the South Florida Bulls playing Navy.
Yeah.
South Florida's a 9.5-point favorite. 2 completely different teams, how they play. South Florida plays veer and shoot, the highest Group of 5 team, and Navy is a triple option military team.
I think Navy's quarterback has been out lately, Blake Horvath.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll be back for this week or not, but
yeah, that's the first big game. I expect South Florida to win this game, but
South Florida should be able to do whatever they want on offense because Notre Dame was able to do. I mean, Notre Dame, North Texas, they're all pass-heavy offenses, and they were able to pretty much control the game.
Yeah, I'm expecting.
It just depends if Navy is able to do what they do and manipulate the time of possession. If they can do that, they can keep it close. But I think South Florida has been playing good.
The next game I want to discuss is Arizona-Cincinnati. Cincinnati's on upset watch here. Arizona's been playing really good football lately, and Noah Fifita's been playing really good football under Brett Brennan at Arizona. This game's in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a 5.5-point favorite, but Arizona's been sneaky.
Yeah, Arizona is sneaky, but
they're a quiet 6-3.
I think this game will be a shootout.
Oh, I'm expecting that. It's
Cincinnati will win at home, maybe by
it's two of the better quarterbacks playing right now in the Big 12, along with Brendan Morton, Bachmeier. I mean, again, the Big 12's got a lot of really.
Big 12 is probably like the quarterback league this year because you still have Sawyer, Josh Hoover, Rocco Becht, Avery Johnson's decent. You did have Sam
Most Big 12 teams have really solid quarterbacks.
Yeah. Utah with Dampier.
Yeah, and then this one is Fifita versus Sorsby. Massive game. Watch out, Cincinnati, if you want to go play Texas Tech in Jerry World.
Yeah, if you want to stay alive for that.
And then the final game is where College Game Day is going this week. I don't know why, but sure. Notre Dame is 11.5-point favorite going into Pittsburgh. Freshman versus freshman quarterback battle.
Yeah.
Ever since Pitt made the change from
Yeah,
Eli
they've been good.
Holstein to their backup, the name of him is, hold on, let me see.
Mason Heinschel.
Yeah, I mean, Pitt looks like a completely different team. And
Yeah.
Notre
They
Dame
could easily be 8-1 right now.
Yeah, Notre Dame's Notre Dame. 2 losses. Start of the year, Miami, Texas A&M. They've won
We're
every game
undefeated.
since. They've won every game since, and they're on a playoff run.
Like Pitt shouldn't have lost to West Virginia, and then Louisville was when they made the change of quarterback late, and they were rolling early. But
the big story of this game going in is Pittsburgh's coach really saying, "No, it's not a big game.
Oh yeah,
I'd lose 100-0 because this isn't a conference game."
I think Notre Dame is starting to click.
You're playing Notre Dame at home. It's a massive game for Pitt.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh, and the Steelers Stadium is their home field. Kellen Carr has been awesome, or CJ Carr, sorry.
Yeah, CJ Carr
has been awesome.
Both these quarterbacks have been awesome. Like in Notre Dame's 2 losses, Carr's been playing good. Like in his first game on the road against Miami, Miami's got solid defense. He played solid there, and then A&M, he played a great game against A&M. It's just his defense couldn't get a stop for him, which was interesting to say for a Marcus Freeman-led team.
And their defense
got better and better throughout the year.
Yeah, their defense stepped up against USC, but this is another chance for Notre Dame to get their second top 25 win, especially on the road. They need it.
Pitt's got the team. Pitt's got the players and the offense that really make Notre Dame's life tough because of the passing game. The difference in this game is I think Notre Dame's probably going to try to control the game with the run game. They think they have the offensive line, and they've got probably the best running back in college football right now.
If Notre Dame just wins these next 3 games, they'll probably still be in this 9, 8, probably 7, 8, 9 ranking. Just depends.
And I wouldn't want to play them. I wouldn't want to play Notre Dame right now. They're playing good football.
No.
They're getting better and better throughout the
year.
Their
offense has been usually it's their offense is behind on their defense. Their offense was way ahead on their defense. Now their defense is starting to catch up to their offense a little bit. They're starting to play complementary at the right time.
Had a lot of guys go to the NFL. I mean, a lot of guys went to the NFL for Notre Dame because
they had a lot of their offensive guys return, like a lot of their receivers and stuff returned.
Yeah,
but should be I think just with those messages of the coach and stuff, and may rain in Pittsburgh. Probably be muggy weather like it usually is at that field.
If that is the case, then I believe definitely favors Notre Dame heavily.
Yeah,
but again, it's freshman on freshman. Both these quarterbacks are young; they could make mistakes, and Carr could make mistakes.
Here's another game we can touch on real quick that I think has implications, but this is mainly ACC.
Yeah,
Virginia and Duke.
That's a 2:30 game. I was actually going to get into that next. Massive game.
So Chandler Morris, he's a game time decision. He had a concussion last week. That was part of the reason why they lost to Wake Forest is they couldn't move the ball at all.
Yeah.
Wake Forest, I don't even think scored a touchdown.
Guess who the favorite is in this game?
Right now it's Duke, but that's because of the injury
news. -5.5. They're 5.5-point favorites at home.
It's because he's going to go through warm-ups and Chandler Morris is. If he plays, I like Virginia to win this game just because whenever Duke's had these home games against Georgia Tech or Illinois, they gave up a lot of plays. Their offense turnovers. They were losing yards. And last week they played against UConn. UConn absolutely just torched them on offense, and they 37-34. It was a shootout, but UConn scored late to win. If Chandler Morris can play, I like that running game with Virginia and their passing game. I trust Chandler Morris, but Morris doesn't play. I like Duke to be able to win this game just because of inexperienced quarterback for Virginia. But bounce back spot for both teams. Virginia's kind of still in the driver's seat of this conference.
Both these teams are still in drive. If
Oh yeah,
whoever
Duke is
loses
4-1.
in a great spot to go to Charlotte.
This is an elimination game for both teams. Whoever loses is out of the ACC race.
Probably unless pure chaos happens.
Yeah, they're both 4-1, 5-1. Virginia was in the driver's seat last week, but they lost. But they could get back in it and be tied. Because Georgia Tech, they have this game and then Pittsburgh at home for ACC purposes. And if they can win against those two, they'll probably be going to Charlotte. So it'll be
definitely.
I think the teams to watch for this ACC race.
I like Duke in this. I like Duke in this game. I think losing to UConn's going to wake them up. Darian Mensah been playing. He's been worth the money for Duke. I mean, he's been incredible this year for Duke. I get Duke winning this game. I think home game. They're playing for their ACC championship lives. I got Duke winning this game. Even with Jaron Morris playing, I think even if he's game time, even if he plays, I think he's going to be hurt.
Yeah, he had a concussion though. So it's not like he'll mess him up throwing the football or anything. It's just if he gets through past the protocol.
Yeah.
This team's on a bye this week, but this team is a team to watch for me in the ACC. It's the SMU.
I'm biased, but yes, SMU.
They'll have Louisville next week in Cal. Like that Cal game.
Louisville's gonna be huge.
Yeah, they get it at home, but that'll be a fun game to watch. And they're 5-1 in the ACC as well. It's just like both these teams, like a lot of these teams are like just hanging around in the ACC. It's like
Another big game that I want to discuss before getting to the massive game at 2:30 in the afternoon spot is Iowa USC.
Yeah.
This is a massive game in the Big Ten for what the Big Ten wants. The Big Ten, I believe, is the one that wants the automatic qualifiers. This is a massive game for the Big Ten. This game is being played in Southern California, but it's going to be rainy. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be an Iowa type game. It's not going to be sunshine, windy day in Southern Cal. It's going to be ugly. But if USC wins this game, the Oregon game becomes their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
USC has a chance to get into the college football playoffs still.
I imagine if USC wins that game, they'll probably go game day. Will probably go there next week.
I would assume so, but USC, if they win this game, has a chance. The issue is they're playing Iowa, and Iowa is a tough team to play for any team. This USC has been playing a lot better, like in the trenches, but you're playing one of the best teams, one of the most consistent teams with great players in the trenches in Iowa. This is a home game for USC. They're favored by 6.5.
Iowa fans will probably travel pretty good, though.
Iowa fans will travel. I mean, it's California. But, yeah, I mean, this is a big look-ahead spot for USC.
They've been all...
Because, again, USC has a chance. USC has 2 losses on the year, at Illinois and Notre Dame. Again, if they win this game, they go to Austin next week, and that's massive for their play.
I trust USC in this spot, but
I do too. I think Mayava's been playing really good football. I think USC has been, again, it's weird to say this, but USC's been a quiet good team this year. Their defense is solid. Their offense is solid. They've got NFL talent on the outside. Lemon's probably going to be a player. They've got a good – this walk-on running back they have has been really solid for USC. His breakout game was the Michigan game this year. But, again, big game for USC. I think their fans are going to show up. Iowa fans are going to show up. And I think USC wins this game.
Me too.
Let me see any other big games at 2:30 before we get into the big one. Nope. All right, now we can get into the big one. Big one at 2:30 that everyone's going to be watching.
Yep.
On ABC, Oklahoma travels to Alabama. Travels to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide.
Could be pretty warm weather for November game.
Yeah, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow for?
It's supposed to be the mid 70s, mid to upper 70s.
Oh,
So it'd be
that's
nice
perfect.
weather. No,
Perfect. That's perfect weather for a
yeah,
football.
perfect football weather.
Man, that's nice because Tuscaloosa. So, this week Tuscaloosa was cold for
Yeah.
standards, but Alabama's a 5.5 point favorite. Obviously, everyone knows what happened last year. Alabama was going into Norman with 2 losses, looking looking to go into the playoff, but then they go into Norman and get stoned. They get killed in the worst game Alabama's played in a long time. They couldn't do anything. Nothing went right for them. And Oklahoma had their big welcome to the SEC moment and being Alabama. This year, Oklahoma's coming off a bye after beating Tennessee on the road in Neyland to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're going into Tuscaloosa. And this is a chaos. This and the other SEC game have chaos written all over it if the Red River teams win. This isn't a playoff elimination game for Alabama. This isn't a playoff elimination game for Alabama. It definitely is for Oklahoma. But again, if Oklahoma wins this game, chaos happens in the SEC. And chaos happens in the playoff.
Yep.
And again, I think we'll talk about this again, and we'll talk about this a little later in predictions and later. I'll leave this to just game previews, but we'll talk about the chaos scenario after we kind of talk about the 2 SEC games. Nicholas, what is the key to the game for both teams?
For Oklahoma, you got to be able to get consistency out of Mateer, whether it's in the run game, pass game. You got to. This is probably going to be the healthiest he's been all year, probably since the beginning of the season. You want to see him be consistent. He's been inconsistent all year, not the quarterback that fans wanted to see. You just want to be able to see that and can that pass rush get home for Oklahoma? Because the secondary's been kind of getting picked on the past couple of weeks, especially against Ole Miss. Really exposed that secondary.
Tennessee also exposed them.
Yeah, Tennessee did. Auburn had chances when they played. Texas had some big plays from Arch.
That was a lot of special teams. That Red River
a lot of special teams, but Arch still had some big passing plays.
Yeah, and a big run end game.
Yeah,
Dallas.
But that would be the key is if their secondary can hold up. And I think for Alabama's key is try to get something in the run game. Don't keep trying to force it if it's not working. Maybe try and get like 2 to 3 yards at a time. Maybe
a lot
you get
of rumors going around Tuscaloosa. They're going to start the freshman A.K. Deer, 5-star running back out of Mississippi, top running back in the country. Top running back recruit in the country. They might play him. My take on this game is a weird one. I think Oklahoma's got the second best run defense in the SEC. I think.
Yeah, probably.
I know it's top 3. So Alabama cannot run the football this year. They've had one 100-yard game, and that was against Vanderbilt. But every team has been able to run or pick on Vanderbilt's defense this year. My take on this game is I actually like this spot for Alabama. If one thing happens, then I think Alabama wins this game. Wins this game by double digits. If this is kind of 50-50, then this will come down to the fourth quarter, probably final drive. Yeah. Because I think both these teams are really good. I think Oklahoma's a well-coached team. It sucks that Oklahoma is a 2-loss team.
Yeah,
I think Oklahoma if they made it into the dance, no one will want to play Oklahoma. They are a really good football team, I believe.
Yeah, they had
But
their chances at home to win that and neutral site, but
but the big one, but the big thing, why I think this could be a double-digit game is Alabama doesn't run the ball anyway.
yeah,
That's not the key for Oklahoma. The two teams that have been able to beat Oklahoma, the last two teams that really play Oklahoma this year were the two. Who were the two best passing teams that Oklahoma's played all year? Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And both those teams had legitimate quarterbacks and weapons on the outside, and they torched Oklahoma's secondary. Both of them. Both of them. Trinidad Chambliss picked Oklahoma apart in Norman, and then Joey Aguilar picked apart Oklahoma. Again, that game came down to turnovers and missed opportunities for Tennessee at home. And that's how Oklahoma wins this game. They got to make Ty Simpson turn the ball over. But if Alabama worked on precision and accuracy, like I believe they did against LSU, because Alabama could have won that game by like 30, by like 20, by like two more touchdowns, but they just missed the deep balls by like an inch. So I think that's what the offense worked on all week. I think Alabama wins this game because of Tuscaloosa, because of everything like that. But how the game plays out will depend on the pressure. If Oklahoma gets consistent pressure on Ty Simpson, then Oklahoma has a chance to win. If it's 50-50, then it'll come down to I like Alabama this spot. I do. I think home crowd's going to be massive in this game. And the revenge factor for Alabama. They're pretty good in revenge games in my time watching them. And even with Kalen DeBoer, so far they are 2-0 in revenge games. They beat Tennessee and they beat Vanderbilt. But that's my take on the game. Alabama's going to win, but I think it'll be close. It's going to be a hell of a football game. It's two blue bloods going at it. And a fun fact about this game, Alabama's never beat Oklahoma in the regular season. They've never beat them in the regular season. They beat them in their history. When Alabama's beat Oklahoma, it's been in the postseason. The last time, before last year, the last time these two teams played was the 2018 Orange Bowl, in which Tua Tagovailoa and that 2018 Alabama offense outdueled Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray. That was the last time these two played before 2023. But Oklahoma has beat Alabama every time in the regular season. Maybe Alabama gets their first win against Oklahoma in the regular season.
Yep.
I mean, what are your overall thoughts on the game?
I think I just trust how Alabama has played all year. I mean,
I also think this is going to be a crimson. It's definitely going to be a crimson out. Both these teams wear crimson.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to separate which fans are which.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma has a little brighter red than Alabama, but
hopefully Oklahoma brings their band because I like their song.
Oh,
it gets annoying after they get a lot of first downs, but it's a good song.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the night slate. We'll do some predictions, and then we'll do some questions like game you're ready to watch for, surprise game, all that. You ready?
For this game, this first game in the night slate we want to talk about is Florida and Ole Miss. This is weird.
Yeah.
Weird game, revenge game for Ole Miss, but more importantly, circulating rumors of Lane Kiffin and this could be his future job.
Possibly. Ole Miss revenge game. I think Ole Miss wins the game.
I think they'll win, but the line's been moving.
Florida, but again, this could be close. Florida's got a lot of NFL talent. It's kind of the Indiana thing.
Florida got destroyed last week. Maybe they'll bounce back, but so Ole Miss opened they were like a 13.5 up to like 15.5. And now it's back down to 11.5. It's kind of a weird game to figure out. I think Ole Miss is going to win this game if they can just because that Florida offense is just making way too many mistakes and just
It's
not.
the defense for Florida that's kept them in all these games.
I think Ole Miss did a couple stops on defense, and you just pick apart this Ole Miss defense. I think Chambliss continues to grow, and Ole Miss pretty much this game right here. These three are your clinchers, or these next two games, your clinchers to get into the playoffs.
The next game I want to discuss is Mississippi State, Missouri. Big game for Mississippi State. Mississippi State's going to win one of the next few games to go bowling. After their over-under win total this year was 3.5. They go to Missouri. Missouri is playing their third string quarterback. But the issue with Mississippi State is Ahmad Hardy's still playing.
Yeah.
And Nate Frazier last week for Georgia went for over 180 plus yards.
I think this game could be a shootout. Like both defenses. I mean, I like Missouri's pass rush, and Mississippi State's offensive line is great. I think Shapen is a game time decision, I think.
Yeah.
But their backup, Mississippi State's backup, is more than capable. But I think both of these teams, both these teams have been able to score. Like the scoring hasn't been an option.
It kind of depends on what kind of Missouri team you're going to see because their playoff hopes died last week against Texas A&M.
That's true.
Next, what's the next game you want to discuss? TCU BYU at 9:15.
Yeah, that game's been weird. TCU was up like 20-7 against Iowa State, and they completely collapsed in the fourth quarter and lost the game. BYU's coming off a bad loss. I mean, not bad loss. They their offense couldn't get going. But I think this could be a sneaky game. But Provo, the home crowd's too much, and then BYU, if they want to get in the playoffs, still they got to win.
Yeah, a lot of people I've heard do sports betting like on podcasts and everything. They like TCU in the spot, and for me, I don't see it. You're going into Provo at 9:15.
I think Hoover will have a big game, but it's just the voodoo, the Mormon magic in that stadium. You just can't overcome it, man. It's just like a weird. They always get these. It's a hard environment to play in. I don't know. It's just hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I like BYU in the spot. I mean, they're still fighting for their playoff lives. They still get a chance to make the playoff.
TCU's had a couple games.
They're trying to get back to Arlington, the rematch with Texas Tech. I mean, Texas Tech hasn't clinched yet, but they play UCF this week, and if they win, I think Texas Tech's got a pretty manageable schedule. But again, it's the
TCU let some games get away from them, like that Arizona State in that Friday night early on in the season. They should have won the game. They led. They had so many chances, blew it. Same last week, Iowa State up 17-7 or whatever, and then you lose 20-7.
I agree.
Kansas State, they just had a terrible start, I think, in that game, if I remember. So they could really those 3 games to go in their favor. This game would have been nice, but I don't know. I like the TCU offense still. They'll probably put up some points, but BYU will outlast them in the end.
The next game I want to discuss is a Mountain West game that could have had playoff implications, but San Diego State went to the island and got beat by Hawaii. But still, this is
Hawaii is good this year.
This is a massive game in the Mountain West, and 2 teams that are going to be in the Pac-12 next year.
Boise State is done.
Boise State and San Diego State.
Boise State, Maddox Madsen's out.
Yeah,
quarterback.
And they don't have Gentee ball anymore.
No, I like San Diego State in a bounce back.
I do too. At 9:30.
Yeah.
Really quick, Ohio State, you get a night game, and you're playing Nico Imaliava. And the last time Nico Imaliava went to a night game at Ohio State, things did not go great. They are 31.5-point favorites, so
Ohio State would dominate.
Another beating, and Ohio State, I believe, with this win, would clinch their spot in the Big Ten title game. Would they?
Or no.
They wouldn't.
You gotta beat Michigan. If Michigan loses a game, then they'll clinch it. But Michigan only has 1 Big Ten loss.
Seriously?
Yeah. They've lost 2 games. They've lost to USC, and then they lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Wow.
Michigan plays at Northwestern. Well, not at Northwestern. They're playing at Wrigley Field tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At Maryland could be. Maryland's a weird team. I mean, probably
and
not.
and
Mike
then
Locksley's on his
that
way
game.
out, probably.
I mean,
And Ohio State.
and who knows with the game. We'll get to that in rivalry week, but again,
So the game will probably most likely, as long as Michigan handles business and Ohio State keeps doing their thing, that will be
Michigan
the
could be
factor.
fighting for their playoff lives at that point.
Yeah, that'll be the deciding factor on who gets in the Big Ten championship. I mean, at that point, Ohio State would already be a playoff lock, so it wouldn't really matter to them.
It's the game, and Ohio State
needs it more just for like.
But again, we're getting off topic. We haven't even talked about the second biggest game. Other games, Utah going to Waco could be an upset watch. I don't think so.
Yeah. What's his face? Dave Aranda's probably on his way out, so I don't know.
I think he possibly stays because Baylor would be like the 15th best job opening right now.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Let's everything on the second big game, and we've kind of had predictions.
I would say this is the game of the week for me. I think
we've had predictions for every game, so we can touch on this game, then call it here. But
yep, I think this
your preview on this game.
Was a game of the year in week 1. Everyone marked this game. And then the good news is it's still a big game. It's just not where one of these teams we expected to be. I mean, we kind of expected the other team to be around the spot, but one team I think we expected to be a little better this year, but they're still really good. Texas is going on the road to Georgia, another night game in Athens. What a season! What a year for Georgia for season ticket holders. They had Alabama, Ole Miss, and now Texas. I mean, that's a dream home schedule for Georgia. And you're going to see Sanford Stadium, another Rockets environment. A lot of the Dies Irae dun, 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 on third down for Georgia.
Yeah.
Massive game for both teams. Georgia, to keep their SEC championship hopes alive, has to win this game. And for Texas, I'm going to put a pin in for Texas. I'll talk about that at the end of the preview. Like I said with Oklahoma. But what's the key of the game for both these teams? Because this is going to be probably a defensive slugfest because these are two really good defenses, especially front sevens. For Georgia, they have one major weakness in their defense, but their front seven is still really good. What do you think's the?
So Texas's offensive line has been improving throughout the season as it goes. Arch has been playing better, more comfortable. Georgia, it'll be interesting to see how Georgia's pass rush can get, if they can contain Arch in the pocket, keep him in the pocket, get some pressures on him, because the Georgia secondary, everybody knows this. They've been struggling all year. They played pretty good last week against Mississippi State, but it's Mississippi State. But their pass rush and linebackers need to get home on Arch, get some hits on him.
That's been the big issue for Georgia this year for their defense. Obviously, their secondary is bad, but they've never had like even in their great defenses, they never had like the secondary, like the best secondary in the country. I mean, they had Kelly Ringo. That the reason Georgia was so dominant on defense back-to-back title runs was because of their edge rush and their front seven. I mean, we have Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, just go down the list, Jalen Carter, all on the same front line. You're going to get pressure on the quarterback.
It'll be an interesting matchup because the past couple weeks when Texas has played, Ryan Wingo has had like big plays off like screens and other like short passing. He like the first play of the game against Vanderbilt, 75-yard touchdown. The play against Mississippi State, he had like 60 or 65 yards.
I heard an interesting stat when listening to Josh Pate. These two teams are number 1 and 2 in the SEC in passes behind the line of scrimmage. What does that mean?
Makes sense.
Both these teams have really fast athletes.
Zachariah Branch and Ryan Wingo for you.
And London Humphreys for Georgia. That guy's
Yeah. The thing with Texas's defense has been
it's been good. I
been
feel like
good. Their front's been not as great, but that's because they had to replace all of them last year, and they're still pretty solid.
They still got one of the best edge rushers in the country in Colin Simmons.
But Gunnar Stockton has been like really good this year. Like he does not get enough. He does not get talked about enough this year.
Underrated. Mike Bobo has kind of a resurgence with Georgia fans. They know, before Georgia fans have always had an issue with Mike Bobo because for years they always thought that was the thing calling them back. This year, if Mike Bobo wasn't in his bag like he's been this year, Georgia would be like a 3-loss team at this point. The offense has been the thing this year that's been carrying Georgia, which has been surprising this year. They've had shootout. They've won shootout games in Tennessee, Ole Miss, and they won one more. Florida, their offense kind of took over. Again, most of the games they've won, their offense has took over. So a lot of their portal guys in the receiving game have been a factor. And Stockton's been like the most underrated quarterback in the country this year. No one talks about him when you think of the top quarterbacks. When you think of the top quarterbacks in the country, you look at Singin, Mendoza, Simpson, Reed. Stockton is one of those guys that he's just there. And he makes big throw after big throw.
Yep.
And even in Georgia's one loss against Alabama, he made the throws. But Alabama just made one or two bigger plays and won that game and on the road. The big thing with this game is home field's going to be massive. Texas this year survived in Kentucky, in Kroger Field, and Davis Wade. Say what you will about those home crowds. They're both really, really solid home field, especially Davis Wade. That can be annoying. But it ain't Athens. Athens is one of those places that is Athens is one of the top three places, toughest places to play in the SEC. Easily one of the toughest places to play in the country. And for Texas, they haven't had to go to that massive road game. They haven't had to go to that massive road game this year. Last year they went into a few of these places, but Texas this year hasn't gone into Kyle Field. They haven't gone to Tiger Stadium. They haven't gone to Neyland. They haven't gone to Jordan Hare, Bryant Denny. I mean, just go down the list of the great home fields in the SEC. They have so many. Texas really hasn't done that. They've had most of their big games at home or on neutral sites. This is their first big road test. This is the first. I made a mistake. This is the second biggest road environment. This is the second big road test for Texas. Obviously, week 1 in Ohio State. No disrespect to the shoe. It's a great atmosphere. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. But again, the one time Texas went into a raucous environment, the 2 times Texas gone into a raucous environment, they got beat pretty good too. Florida, which is still one of the more shocking losses of the year, especially at this point. It's not Alabama, Florida State level shocking.
Texas would have won that game. They would be like pretty much like a not even close to a lot because they still have these 2 games, but they would be sitting like even better than it because they're elimination bed right here. But
I think the story of this game is going to be this is the game that I don't know. I don't know what the key is because I think it's going to be home field. I think that's like the only thing because I like Texas secondary against Georgia's offense. I like their secondary. They've got guys in the backfield. They've got athletes to line up against This is the best secondary Georgia's going up against since Alabama.
I think a lot of these. I think both offenses. I think Texas offense will have maybe side advantage, but not in the trenches. Like we'll see.
I think in the trenches they're pretty even. Texas got some guys in the trenches. They got some
Yeah,
players in the trenches.
I like this game's very like I don't know how I would if this game was on it. I like Georgia here just as a home field.
The only way where I like it is I think I think Texas receivers are better than Georgia's secondary, but I also think Georgia's front seven I think is better than Texas offensive line. Texas offensive
Georgia's
line,
also had a good answer for Sark. Like Kirby has had a really good answer for Sark. Remember last year, these two teams played twice, and Georgia won both.
Georgia's had
number.
Again, Georgia's had everyone's number in the SEC besides Alabama.
Yeah. I wish Georgia and A&M played. They like never play each other. I don't even remember the last time they played each other.
Here's the great news. With the scheduling, we're gonna see like one team Alabama doesn't play a lot is Florida. We haven't played them since 2015.
2021.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, 2021 and 2020.
They haven't been the Bryant Denny Stadium since 2015. But
yeah.
But again, going off track. This is the game of the week for me. I have no idea what's the difference in this game is. For Alabama and Oklahoma, I kind of know it. It's gonna be pass rush for Oklahoma versus Alabama's offensive line. If Oklahoma wins that battle, Oklahoma could win this game. If Alabama wins that, Oklahoma's not going to win. This game, I have no idea what's going to be the difference because I think both these teams have flaws, significant flaws, but I don't think one side has a massive advantage over the other. I would say Texas edge rush against Texas pass rush against Georgia's offensive line, but even that Georgia offensive line has been really good this year. I mean, Georgia hasn't faced a really. Who's the best edge rusher Georgia's faced this year? This is probably going to be Constance. Is probably going to be the best edge.
Probably the best one they face.
Probably the best one they face because Bama doesn't have the best pass rush ever. They got a decent one. Tennessee, Ole Miss, and yeah, I think Colin Sims might be the best one for Georgia. But again, this is going to be a massive game, and for my prediction, I would not be surprised if Texas won this game.
No.
But Archie would have to play the game of his life. He would have to have by far the best game of his career. But again, this secondary is you can pick apart the secondary. Chambliss, Simpson, some of the best quarterbacks in the country have been able to Aguilar, some of the best quarterbacks in the country have been able to pick apart the secondary. But I don't know if Arch is ready, per se, or if Texas is ready for a raucous road environment.
I agree.
I mean, I want Texas to do well because I like Sark and I want Arch to do well. I want Arch to do well, but I'm going to be neutral. Again, I'm not a fan of Texas. I'm not a fan of Georgia, so I'm pretty neutral in this game. The reason I think, again, I'm going to go back to what I think the main difference is. Texas had, when they've gone to raucous road environments, tough road environments, they've lost or played bad. And Sanford Stadium is on the level of the Swamp and the Horseshoe, and you're going into Sanford Stadium at night. That's going to be tough, and I don't see Georgia losing twice at home this year. I've got Georgia winning a close game.
I agree.
But again, if Texas gets off to a hot start, maybe. But right now, I got Georgia. I got Georgia keeping their SEC championship hopes alive and everything.
All right.
What about you?
I like Georgia as well.
But before we get into predictions, I want to talk about the chaos scenario that I kind of hinted toward. So if the game goes how Nicholas and I kind of said, Texas would be a 3-loss team. You'd think that's eliminated, right? Well,
Not if you beat
the
Texas
nice thing
A&M.
for Texas is they might be able to get in because of other things going on in college football, especially the ACC. The ACC and the Big Ten might only get 3 in. Might only get 3 in if it plays out how many people expect. With Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State. The SEC, the ACC probably gets 1, maybe 0 in. I think at most 1, and I think it's probably 2. I mean, if they're lucky, they get 2 with an ACC champion in Miami. Notre Dame probably is going to get in. I think there's going to be some spots open. And if Texas splits between if Texas splits between A&M and Georgia, I think they get in.
Yeah.
I think they get in with blue blood status, plus their losses are pretty good besides Florida. I think Texas could get in. But again, chaos would happen if Texas, Oklahoma, or both win, the ACC is a complete chaos scenario. SEC is complete chaos. I mean, probably A&M and Alabama would still be the top 2 teams because of tiebreakers, but it would just make there would be so many one-loss conference teams in the SEC with there'd be so many teams fighting for playoff spots at that point.
Yep.
That's the chaos scenario. Even if one of them wins, chaos still happens. The least chaos would be if Oklahoma won. If Oklahoma won, then it's like, all right, A&M, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Oklahoma. Those are your 5 teams. 5 teams probably get in at this point. But again, I don't know. Chaos could happen in the playoff, but I'm not going to speculate on that because my brain would go. And plus, we haven't even played the game. So let's go into that. So, a few questions before we get out of here, Nicholas. What's the game you're most excited for this week? For me, it's Texas, Georgia, even though my team's playing a massive game, but I'm going to be there.
Texas, I agree with you. Texas, Georgia.
What's the surprise game or the game that the under the radar game that you're looking forward to? Because the public believes it's looking at 2 big games. Which ones are you looking at? What's the under the radar game that you're kind of like, I'm really excited for that one, even though it's not like.
Probably either Virginia Duke or Iowa USC.
Yeah.
Both games, of course, are both at 2:30. But
for me,
if Cameron Morris is playing, that game will be fun to watch.
For me, it's a tie between TCU, BYU.
Yeah.
Massive game in the Big 12, or
standalone as well.
Yeah. I think Arizona Cincinnati could be really fun as well.
Yeah.
Both those games I could see come down to the wire. Plus the Big 12 is like they're all pretty much in the same team. Any final thoughts going into this week?
Not really. It should be a good week.
I'm really excited for this week. And the playoff rankings on Tuesday are going to be crazy, whatever happens. So we'll do playoff rankings, like I said, next week, because there wasn't a lot of change this week, and I'd get out of here soon. But great show, Nick. Great show, Nicholas, as always.
Yeah, great show.
Can't wait for the Alabama game. We'll both be in attendance for that game.
We'll both be sitting together for that game.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
Fourth Mile crew gets to actually sit together for an Alabama game.
There we go.
So,
all right.
And for everyone out there, good luck for your teams this week. And win or lose, we're gonna have a good time. Win or lose, we're gonna have a good time.
Yep, we'll be back next week as always.
We'll be back next week for the 4th of Mile podcast. We'll be back on normal schedule next week, Tuesday NFL, Thursday college football, as always. And so for Nicholas Elliott, I'm JD Zaza. Thank you everyone for listening or watching, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.